Aloha, beautiful speck of source energy. Hello, I'm Layla Rose, and this channel is Let's Reality Play, all about how to play with your reality from the inside out. Play with how you relate to your perspectives, your perceptions, and your inner powers to relate to your life and your surrounding differently. So today's topic that I felt called to share after some journaling, and I got a clear voice, share this. The topic is that you're not depressed. For many years, I struggled with these depression times. I'm just whispering because people are sleeping. But these depression times, when you feel depressed, you're actually awakening. It's actually you're calming your nervous system down enough to observe what's happening in your reality, and there is a death happening. That desire to die is actually you dying parts of you that don't serve your evolution, your next stages of your evolution any longer. So when we label it as depressed, or we're worried how others will perceive us, it feels like a disease. It feels like a problem that needs to be fixed. But the way attention works is that if you focus your attention on solving a problem, there's only more problem. So when we shift this perspective, when we play with this perspective, what if I'm not depressed? What if this is just me awakening and me purging out old realities and old games that other people are playing? It's their reality, it's not mine. So to be still in that emptiness is an okay place. That unknown is actually your home base for your soul. But we weren't allowed to be in that unknown for too long as children. When we weren't doing anything, it's like, what are you going to do? What are you doing? What are you doing with your time? You're wasting time? What are you, daydreaming? So society outplugged us. It forced us out of our natural essence. And the universe and the way source works is in the realm of unknown, the realm of timelessness. So when we tap into those deeper states of consciousness, it could feel like depression, psychosis, and when we bounce back and forth, it could be labeled as bipolar or schizophrenic when we tap into other parts of our multidimensional selves. Because there is no time and space, all these awakening, super powerful times have been labeled and judged. And I just wanted to share that this is actually, what if this is what was you awakening to your true essence? What if you called this in? What if you were actually afraid of the own medicine you were experiencing? Take a moment. If you clicked on this title, it must mean that you've been playing with this word depressed. So all of the tools that I've ever discovered or birthed, the only reason I was ever able to create anything from my heart, or the only reason I am where I am and I have so much more joy in my life now, is because I embraced those times, those depressive times, and I called them sacred times. I knew what medication did to people, how it numbed them, my family and stuff, so I was on a mission. I was like, I want to see if there's a solution, and if there is, I'm going to share it with the whole world. And so I embraced those times. I became curious, and all the practices that I've been practicing were birthed out of those times of depression. Depression is more like an ayahuasca ceremony without ayahuasca. It's like having an acid trip without acid. And people take those things and they label it. They're like, oh, it's because I took acid, it's because I did shrooms, it's because I did ayahuasca. And then they go back to their regular lives. What makes the regular life more real than those times when you're fully awake within the dream? So if you're feeling judgment or fear, like even this morning I woke up, I'm like, oh, I'm depressed, because it's such an engraved thing in society. Like when I go through these times or want to hibernate and be alone, people are like, are you depressed? I'm like, yeah, I'm depressed, because I didn't know how to explain in words what I was going through. It's beyond words. So if you're feeling these challenges, just, am I crazy? Am I depressed? Am I blah blah blah? There's a lot of energy shifting on a collective level. A lot of people are awakening. and it could feel like chaos, it could feel like pain. But what if those things were, what if it's just energy? What if you're actually awakening? Ah, what does that perspective feel like? Play with that. What does that perspective feel like? Does it calm my nervous system? What if I'm not depressed? What if I'm awakening? What if all is well? What if I'm one with all? What if it's okay to be relaxed within this state? Because if I'm relaxed, I can therefore tap into a reality of relaxation. So the imagination is a super powerful tool that we can use at times like these, because imagination is just playing. And the survival brain that wants to keep us safe and create linearity, the way it's structured is to keep us safe in a box, wants us not to change. And those thought patterns don't want to die because they have a life force of their own, those systems, those games, those realities. So it does everything to hold on. So that when we play with imagination, the great thing about playing with imagination and asking what ifs is that our nervous system stays calm because it doesn't battle those thoughts. The logical brain only perceives it as, oh, they're just playing, they're just imagining, so it doesn't interrupt. And while we're playing and imagining with thoughts that feel good in our bodies, we allow new neural pathways to be created. It's like an imagination creation station in our head. So play if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling crazy, if you're feeling that you may be sick or ill, or what if you're just awakening? What if all is well? What if you can relax? What if this was the medicine you needed? Was to feel this? What if this was the medicine you've been calling in? What if this is you just remembering? What if you can just be? And then reflect a reality, allow reality to reflect that supports your being. What would that look like? What would that feel like? How would you go about your day? I invite you to play with your imagination. I invite you to question playfully. And if you need extra support, these practices go real deep. So if you want to recreate the tale and have some assistance with that, I usually work with people just once, because I don't believe we need to hold on to each other to evolve. I believe we just share our medicine and pulses with one another and activate one another. So if you are interested in play shop gatherings, which is basically gathering a group of people together, tapping into these states of consciousness together through imagination and play, they're really fun. Or if you feel called to schedule a session, you'll see my information in the description. So much love to you. All is well. You're awakening. You're loved. Let's reality play. For real.